as we're going into the summer, I want to talk a little bit about how you can build your program and just make it what you want in the off season. A lot of times I hear coaches talk about, I'm going to get my varsity team 50 games this year, or we're going to make sure that we play 20 dates, or whatever it is that your state allows you to do. And I think that's good for your team, but there are ways to build the entire program, and we want to make sure that we're doing that. So some of these things you already do. Hopefully I can add a few ideas here to make your program even better. The first thing is your youth camps. Are you holding a youth camp? And when I say youth, I'm talking about your lower level, maybe your first and second graders, all the way up to that middle school level. So those youth camps are huge in getting kids interested in having fun. Make sure that you're playing games in those. They're fast-paced. There's two ways to do it. You can stand out in the front and you can tell the kids what to do and have them circle up, that kind of thing. Or you recruit your high school players to come in. When they come in, they have stations. And the stations last for so many minutes and then they move on. If this is something that sounds interesting to you, in the members area, at CoachMattDennis.com, there's a diagram and there's stuff set up for you already you can print off and you can use. But we use our high school players because we want to build some excitement and have those kids look up to those high school players. Great way to build your program. The second way are your high school camps. Are you holding a high school camp? A lot of times we have our players go to a camp, a shooting camp, or maybe it's just an all-purpose camp at a college. But are you holding one just for the high schoolers? Now, when you hold it, you are working on skills, you're trying to develop that, but you also want to make sure that you're putting in the things that you run. What's your system? What is it that you like to do? Are you a pressing team? Are you a team that runs a patterned offense? Are you a team that does pressure man-to-man defense? Those are the things that you're really ingraining in them. This is a great way to get your incoming kids, your incoming freshmen a lot of times, start to get acclimated. They see the kids who played JV ball, or they see the high school varsity players and how they do it. And now they're asked to compete and to do reps with those players. So it's a great way to kind of throw them in right away, learn your system and get it going so that you can build upon that, and it builds your program in a huge way. It also means that your seniors and your future varsity kids need to be leaders. They need to step up, they need to demonstrate what it's like, the pace, what the attitude is like, what the work ethic is like, so that those younger kids get that right away. And that's huge in building a culture and building your program. If you're the only one out there talking, if you're the only one demonstrating, they can tune that out after a while. But when your high school players get out there and they're the ones who have to do a little demonstration or have to do a little explanation, what you have is you have them paying attention to the details, but you also have those 9th and 10th graders who are trying to get to that level, really paying attention because these are the guys they want to be like. Next are team camps. A lot of us do team camps of some sort. I like to try to fit in a couple of overnights. We have some that are just day team camps, but get your kids playing. Mix and match them. Don't worry about who's winning and who's losing. I hear that all the time from coaches. We only won 3 games, or we only won half of our games. I can tell you, we only won half of our games in the last summer that we participated in team camps, and we ended up going undefeated in the regular season and overall had a 23-1 record. The summer doesn't matter. You get those new kids in there, you get them reps, you play different sets of guys, you play guys at different positions, you try to throw in maybe a different play or two, some different out of bounds that you don't normally do. Don't worry about that record. Another great way to build your program, let your lower level coaches coach the team camp. I know a lot of coaches are, whoa, I'm not sure I can give up that control. Well, it's something that will really help you. You can sit on the side, on the bench, you can sit across from them, you can sit in the end line. You get to see the game in a whole different way. You see mannerisms, you see the way guys are talking, you see the way that they're executing. You start to see how they're doing things, and you're not focused on all the things a coach focuses on. Did we set the screen correctly? Are we getting over to the help side? Did we run that play correctly? Who do I have to sub in next? There's 4 minutes left. What do we want to run? You're starting to think about so many things on the sideline. Let yourself go sit in the stands for a second or sit on the end of the bench. And when the players come out, you can coach them on the end of the bench. You coach what they're doing and what they're not doing. And you don't have to worry about what's happening on the court because your assistant has it or a lower level coach has it. I absolutely love to do this. I don't do it every single team camp, but I do it from time to time so that I can pay attention to things that I don't normally see when I'm out there coaching and I'm calling the plays and I'm calling the defenses and I'm reacting to what's going on. So team camp's a huge way to do it. Now, if you're trying to build up that culture. One thing that you want to make sure that you do is you want to make sure that you have your kids engaged. And one way I found to do this is to host your own. So call up 3 or 4 schools, open it up to 10 schools, doesn't matter. Maybe I just have them help pay for referees or use it as a fundraiser. But when you have something at your school, it's really hard for kids to say, no, I can't show up. Because it's right there. It's right down the road. It's not like we're going overnight. We're not taking a day trip. We're not doing anything like that. We're bringing the schools to us. And that starts to build something. You have parents come watch. You have lower level kids participate, help keep score, help set up things, tear things down. But it becomes a program event. And I think that can be really powerful for a program to build. Next is open gyms. Open gyms, when you have them, what are you getting out of them? And I'll say inside the coaching library, we have an open gym guide that lays out specifically how you want to do some things in open gyms. I'm going to give you just a couple of ideas. One idea is play 3-on-3 first instead of just going right to 5-on-5. More kids are on the floor. If you ran two hoops at 3-on-3, you're going to get 12 kids on the floor at a time. If you run 5-on-5 right away, you only get 10 kids. So you get 2 more kids working on ball handling, dribbling, shooting, and defense. It's a no-brainer to me. We run half of our open gyms as 3-on-3, we run half as 5-on-5. You can take it one step further and tell the kids, you're only going to shoot on a drive and a kick. We're only scoring on layups. We're only going to score after the ball touches the post. Give them an objective to play with. That objective can carry over into a 5-on-5 game, but that's one great way that you can get more out of it. The second way is whenever the ball is touched out of bounds, it's tipped, it's blocked out of bounds, anything like that, give the ball to the defense, even if the defense tips it. You're saying, well, that's not how they play in games. Well, you want to start training your players not to turn the ball over. And you want to make sure that they're making good passes and selecting good shots. One way that you can do that is if the offense makes a poor pass and it gets deflected out of bounds, it's a defense ball. We don't want poor passes. We don't want turnovers. And we get to our players starting to think about that. It's a great way to get your point guards making better passes, making better decisions, because you lose the ball if you make a poor decision. 50-50 balls don't lead to winning games. So we want to make sure that we eliminate those and do that in open gyms. And then the last thing is outdoor courts. Every summer, our courts are kind of taken over because there's other sports going on, as well as they're going to refinish the floors, and we can't be in there when they're refinishing them. I think every court in the country has this in the schools. One thing that you can do is, do you have a local park? Schedule a time, on Wednesdays at 9 a.m., Wednesdays at 9 p.m., we're going to be down there from 9 to 10. Invite whatever age group you'd like. What I do is I invite 3rd through 12th grade. I have them all come out there. We do some skill work. We break them down by ages so that they can work specifically against guys at their level. But it's a great way for us to get out, have fun in those courts, and it just promotes playing basketball. So it's another way that we can build our program. The varsity kids love interacting with the younger kids, so that helps build the program from the ground level up. So just some ideas that you can use. Now, as always, Coach, I want to make sure that I leave you with something that you can take and you can use. So I'm going to go ahead here and I'm going to drill that I want to show you that I really think helps with the defense and the offensive side dealing with pressure. If we go ahead and we have an offensive player here and we have our defense on the side, I know they're not in the greatest position, but have your defense start with the ball and they're going to hand this ball off. As soon as the ball is handed off, this becomes a one-on-one opportunity to go ahead and score. The defense has to figure out, am I quick enough to get in and cut them off? Can I get all the way down and contest the shot? Whatever it is that they have to do, but they're at a disadvantage. You can also start with the offense in front and the defense behind, and this defender is going to hand the ball off, and now they're really at a disadvantage. If you want to go ahead and have them play one in front, so maybe we're having one here, the defense has the ball, hands it off, and now it's one-on-one as soon as that happens. So different ways that you can position the defense at a disadvantage or straight up to get them to figure out how exactly are we going to play this, what am I going to do. But it's a great drill. You can play it to 5 points, have the kids interchange each time, and you'll see that your offensive players are going to the hoop harder, they're finishing better, but your defensive players are starting to think the game, making sure that they're not getting themselves in foul trouble and they're not giving up any easy baskets. So, Coach, I hope you found this beneficial. Hope that you can take some of these things, use them with your program, make your program even better so that you can win year in and year out, and you're not just waiting for that one group of kids to come through to have something special. Thanks.